Hi, my name is Darren, and I love talking African affairs. Now, this morning I woke up to news from Mali that General Assimi Goita, who led the coup in 2020 and 2021, has signed a bill into law which gives him power to rule Mali for the next 5 years. And guess what? It's renewable as many times as possible. Now, in April, they put together a military council that sat together and consulted on how to rule the country. Now, of course, the opposition boycotted this because they were also invited, and they said they don't want to be part of this because they want civil rule or civilian rule. In fact, in 2024, which is last year, General Assimi had also promised that the power will go back to people and it would be a civil rule. However, tables keep turning. They keep turning since then till today. Or which the bill that has given him power to rule up to 2030 and beyond, most likely, doesn't look like there is going to be civil rule very soon. First, he's not a retired general. He's a general in the army. He's the one who led the coup, and he's in power, signing a bill that gives him more power to 2030, renewable, without necessarily putting in place a civic government. Here's one thing I'll tell you. I don't know a president on the African continent who came by the gun and makes it so easy to hand over power or transfer power to a civilian rule. What most of them do is that they retire or they change like they change the situation to come from military rule because they came by the gun and put elections. Okay, they bring things to do with democracy. But the interesting thing is that they still come back and stand as presidents now in the democratic era, which they end up winning again and again and again. And I said this last time. I said the president of Guinea came through a coup. Now he stood as a president, won by 94% of the elections or the votes, and he's a president. And guess what? They had already talked about issues to do with how long is the term. Yes, the term is going to be 7 years, or for only 2 terms that will be 14 years. But guess what? That constitution can still be amended, and it may be there for a very long time. You can go to all these Burkina Fasos, every president who managed to come by the gun, including even the Paul Kagames of this world, all of them have entered the civilian democratic principle, and they still stayed as the leaders of those countries. And many times they don't leave. So I don't know what the Malians think or the kind of rule they should expect, but in my view, in my prediction, I think that General Assimi Goita is here for another 5 years without democracy or civilian rule, and it will be renewable. But you see, when they say renewable, it depends on the situation, whether the country is calm or not. But don't remove the fact that he might go to 2035 to 2040 to 2045 to 2050, depending on how long he will feel he has the energy to be around or how much he's willing to transfer power to civilians. That is if another coup does not happen in Mali. I don't know what you think, but in my view, this is a tough bargain, and I don't see a civilian government in Mali very soon. I don't know what to think, but my name is Darren. Subscribe here to support me, and I'll give you my analysis and the news that is happening around the African continent.